I've done a lot of videos about the way that people in the public, the trolls and the vigilantes, and even people in law enforcement, politicians, will embrace the labels that they created to label people who have been convicted of a sex offense. And, while that's bad enough, because these same labels don't seem to apply in the same measure with other things, certainly not their own criminality. Certainly not that. The labels really stick when they're amplified by the general public. I'll give you an example. You have a woman who once stopped behind me, at a light. And I've told this story on my channel before. And what I had done was pulled over on the side of the road to help somebody who looked like they didn't know what was going on. They looked confused. And, I come from a small town. We help everybody. So this is part of my ethos of why, my inclination is always to try to help people who are in need. So I pulled over to help this person. He's a young guy. And, before you trolls jump in, I've helped little old ladies. I've helped older men, small children, mothers with children, carry groceries into a house, old people. I help lots of people. So I got back in the car and signaled and then pulled away from the curb, looking back, of course, to see that there was a woman taking my picture. Okay, holding up the camera in a way such that it could only be taking my picture. So I threw it in park, and I got out of my car and walked back. I was still on the side of the road to talk to her to ask what she was doing. She, of course, sped out like a maniac, ran the red light, went right through it. And later on, I found out probably 2 years later that she showed up on one of those troll sites taking aim at me and, making up a story. Of course, how would you know what really happened there? How do you know what really was going on? If you're taking a picture of me, you're taking a picture of my car, my license plate. Most people would find that very intrusive. But somehow when you put a label of SO on someone, they think it's okay. I mostly like to spend time on my channel talking about what the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force is doing. But of course, they created the nexus with the vigilantes, as they're working with them currently in 2 cases, apparently, at least one. And I'll be discussing those in a bit. But it never rests. There's always some manner of BS that I'm going to have to address from these folks. And what's really amazing is how random people think that somehow they have a stake in my life or the lives of other people, when really it has nothing to do with them. And they have no right to decide to insert themselves into other people's lives. No right, because on safety grounds, on constitutional grounds, really on any grounds, though they certainly claim to. And if they assert a right, remember there's also a companion right to litigate against them, and that they may have to come out of the shadows and actually face you. And they really don't want to do that. And yet you can't have it both ways. So if you're willing to fling around labels or amplify negative labels, then you should be willing to stand behind your claims 150%.